Greetings and welcome to Kashmir University's weekly video magazine Quest. This week's Quest highlights: Finnish scientists hold meeting with university scientists. Department of English organizes a 3-day seminar. And World Tuberculosis Day observed in Kashmir University. Now the details of these events with me, your host today, Muhammad Fahim al-Islam. To finalize the multidisciplinary collaborative research initiative on studying various processes and phenomena in Kashmir and Ladakh Himalayas, scientists from Finland had a formal discussion with Vice-Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed and other scientists of the university. The meeting was held to develop consensus among the partners. The multi-partner initiative will see collaboration of various research and academic institutes from Finland, Sweden and the United Kingdom. Dr. Jana Halla of Finnish Natural History Museum and Dr. Mieti Kurihala of Helsinki University, Finland, represented the Finnish side in the meeting. The initiative aims to investigate various land surface, climatic, biological and other related processes and phenomena in an integrated manner. The research projects under the initiative will be submitted for support under the Indo-Finnish Bilateral Scientific Cooperation Agreement between India and Finland and also under the Framework Program of the European Union. After the meeting, Quest team asked the Finnish scientists about the project.
The idea of creating this project came from the fact that we actually do have bilateral agreement between DST in India and Academy of Finland, and which funds mobility of researchers and joint calls. And it came to our mind that this study on Himalayas would be a really good topic for a joint call. And the meaning of this project is that it brings together very many disciplines.
The workshop that was given last year was about isotope geology, and to my understanding there has not been isotope geology teaching at the department yet. So I think it was a sort of a new opening, and I could see that the students were really enthusiastic then, and they were very alert in classes and had lots of very good questions to ask. So I think it was a very well-placed workshop.
Dr. Jana Halla of Finnish Natural History Museum said that it's an important study for the betterment of the society.
Then we started to think about Himalayas and decided that it would be really good and very fruitful for our colleagues in Finland to come here and actually see the mountains of Himalayas. So I arranged an excursion for 38 persons of the members of the Geological Society of Finland, and we made the trip last June. And during that trip we got a lot of ideas what kind of aspects we could study on Himalayas. And the purpose of my visit now is to start discussions on future larger collaboration project between Finland and India, especially on all the aspects of Himalayas.
Professor Talat Ahmed said that such initiative is the outcome of the scientific interactions that started last year with scientists from Finland and other European countries.
We are going to look into the aspects of geodynamics, environmental sciences, biological sciences, biodiversity, food technology. So all these, now we are going to approach the funding agency within the country and also in Europe to have some projects as an umbrella project which will be covering lots of satellite projects within the university. And there will be inbuilt facility for the exchange of the students and research scholars and even teachers to go and spend time, and people from Helsinki can come and spend time here, and there will be also some sort of possibility of credit exchange if some students go to Helsinki and spend time and take up some course, or somebody comes from there and take up the course here.
He said that the research collaboration has tremendous societal and scientific importance and envisages students and faculty exchanges between Kashmir University and European partners.
We are also going to look into the aspects of mineral deposits, and then many of the cultural aspects are also we are trying to cover through the study of archaeology. So we have to explore that in Kashmir and also in Ladakh. We have lots of mineral deposits in Ladakh and Kashmir, which we want to actually understand better and take the help from the experts from Finland. And this is going to be beneficial for the state. And this effort will be both academic as well as scientific and sociological. So I look forward that within a year's time we should have a full-fledged, broad-based project being submitted for funding to the different agencies in the country and in Europe.
Praising Head Earth Sciences Professor Shakil Ahmed Romshu, Professor Talat said that in coming times they are going to carry various studies on mountain ranges.
We are going to have some sort of program for even the master's level where detailed geological mapping will become one of the aspects where people from Finland have shown interest. We want to study the Panjal traps, which is one of the big geological unit in the Kashmir Valley, very little understood. The Karevas, we are going to understand what it is. And similar studies will be taken up on the Ladakh batholith, for example. And then we will have more studies on the ophiolites. The ophiolites are actually the remnant of ocean for the interest of the young students of college and school. Ophiolites are the rocks from the ocean floor which are now present in the Himalayas, and the best examples are preserved in Nidar in eastern Ladakh and Bulbek near Kargil in western Ladakh.
Department of English organized a 3-day national seminar on literature and ethics, paradigms and practice. The inaugural function was held in the auditorium of Humanities Building. In her welcome address, Head Department of English Professor Lily Vant praised late Professor Altaf Hussain Tak, who passed away last October, for his contributions.
Those of you who knew him will acknowledge his commendable dedication to work. A generous and caring human being, Professor Tak will always be remembered for the love and affection that he showered upon his colleagues and students. His death undoubtedly has been a great loss to the department, scholars, and students. One does feel sad when a life is lost, but the pain becomes even more intense when that loss is of a teacher, a colleague, and a friend. One way to cope with the pain and show our respect for Professor Tak is to follow by example his dedication for the department. A sad moment is always inclusive of the happy moments that one has spent with the departed soul.
Professor Wand also presented a brief profile of the Department of English.
The Department of English has a distinguished history and glorious traditions that have always remained a source of inspiration for its scholars and students. We have a proud tradition of our students working within and outside the state with great professional success and relentless commitment. That the department has maintained its standard of excellence over the years is ratified by the fact that a fair number of students have qualified NET and SLET, while some have won admission to research programs in prestigious universities like Jawaharlal Nehru University, Aligarh Muslim University, and Jamia Millia Islamia.
In his keynote address, Professor Harish Narang, senior consultant at South Asia University, said that to understand literature, one has to ask certain questions.
What is literature? What does it deal with? Why is it produced at all? How is it produced? Is there any politics behind what gets produced in the name of literary writings? Who is its writer? And is there any relationship between the person and his or her persona as a writer? What, if any, is the message that a writer wishes to communicate to his or her readers? Does the message reflect any commitment on the part of the writer? What is the nature of that commitment? Is it personal or societal? Further, how is a piece of literature evaluated? Are there any universal criteria for evaluating a piece of literary writing? Or are these society and time specific? Should pedagogues teach a piece of literary writing independent of the contemporary context of its readers? Has the process of globalization impacted the nature of literary writing, its evaluation, and its teaching in any significant way? And finally, the most crucial question that is, in a way, the mother of all these questions. Is a writer's freedom to write and say things absolute, or is it relative and subject to societal scrutiny at a given point of time, and does it involve any ethical issues?
Professor Narang said that a large number of people believe that literature is not produced, but created.
For the time being, let me state that literature is born out of a conscious activity on the part of a writer, as much as a potter sits on his or her wheel to create a pot consciously, or a painter stands in front of his or her canvas to create a painting. For me, a writer is a wordsmith, no more, no less. Let me now make my formulation a little more complex by stating that not only is writing creatively a conscious activity, but it is also very coolly calculated and deliberately planned activity, almost like a murder.
Vice-Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed in his presidential address said that Professor Narang's keynote address would generate debate among scholars.
The good thing that I learned from Narang Saab was that scientists are very easy people and they can understand the society, and many of the literary people from social sciences learn from the scientists. So I wish you all success, and I'm very happy to learn that we have lots of outstation delegates. I hope they will have a good discussion here, and also they will find some time to go and see part of the city.
Associate Professor at the Department of English, Dr. Nusrat, conducted the proceedings of the seminar, while as Dr. Taslim Ahmed War presented the vote of thanks. On World Tuberculosis Day, Department of Social Work in collaboration with Voluntary Health Association of India organized a one-day seminar. The seminar was held in the conference hall of Gandhi Bhavan. The seminar got underway with the screening of a short film on TB awareness. According to the World Health Organization, India accounts for 1/5 of the global TB incident cases. Each year, nearly 2 million people in India develop tuberculosis, of which around 0.87 million are infectious cases. It's estimated that annually around 330,000 Indians die due to tuberculosis. The seminar was held in connection to aware people about the disease. In his welcome address, Head Department of Social Work, Dr. Pirzada Muhammad Amin said that it's important to focus on such issues that concern vast majority of population.
This disease has traditionally been a powerful source of alienation in the absence of the weak socio-economic conditions and medical infrastructure. Even traditionally, the persons affected by this disease were facing problems in terms of their life cycle events such as marriage and social relations. As a consequence, the person affected was deprived of the social and physical well-being. Given the significant development in medical sciences, the disease has been contained to a great deal in the underdeveloped societies and in the developed countries. Almost it has been reduced to a zero level.
State Tuberculosis Officer Dr. G.A. Vani, in his address while giving details of the efforts that their organization has made, said that they have set a deadline of 2017 by which every tuberculosis patient would be identified.
We have been able to achieve more than 90% success rate. That means 90%, more than 90% of our patients are on treatment. Everybody is on treatment and they are recovering. They are responding to the treatment, and some have completed. 90%, most of the patients have completed their treatment. And the detection rate, we have been able to achieve more than 70% of detection rate. No doubt, we have to achieve more detection rate up to the level of 90%, but we are trying our best to request our private practitioners, the private hospitals, so that they refer the suspected patients for the sputum microscopy and other diagnostic procedures, so that we can detect most of the patients, almost every patient, by 2017. We have a goal.
Head Social and Preventive Medicines SKIMS Professor Abdul Majid, in his address, said that this day reminds us of our duties and responsibilities.
This day also reminds us of the great progress made in the field of medical science, and introspectively seeing our lapses, our failures, and the lacunae in the system of management of dealing with the tuberculosis. So it's a day of introspection, it's a day of awareness generation, it's a day of commitment, it's a day of gearing in mission and taking a pledge towards our own self, towards the total humanity, that we will fight the war against tuberculosis on the mission basis.
Dean Research, University of Kashmir, Professor Khurshid Andrabi, said that it's been seen that TB emerges due to mismanagement by the people.
And perhaps the evidence in support of that is that about 90% of the population that is affected by this disease do not actually exhibit any symptoms pertaining to this disease. So that means that perhaps this disease emerges only out of mismanagement of some other aspects of human behavior, and then it starts consuming the disease. That's why, notwithstanding the medical breakthroughs in this disease, it has always been found imperative that counseling programs and other aspects of social programs are equally important to sort of fight this menace.
In his presidential address, Vice-Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed said that people have created myths with regard to the disease. He said this disease mostly affects people who have poor hygienic and less sanitation facilities.
This is one important area where we need to do as much as possible, because this disease is known for very long, but people have lots of myths, and they should be told clearly that if you get this, unfortunately, it is curable, and within 6 to 8 months of good treatment, which is, I was told that it is free of cost from the government of India and government of maybe Jammu and Kashmir. So they should actually come forward and take benefit of the facilities that has been given by the the state agencies.
Seminar coordinator and assistant professor, Department of Social Work, Mr. Adil Bashir, conducted the proceedings of the seminar.
The problem of tuberculosis, as you know, it's prevalent globally. And this is also prevalent in our country also. The slogan for this year is that no TB deaths in my lifetime. And that's very important for us to understand that what role we can play as a member of different institutions, as a member of the civil society in eradicating these problems from the society. And it is in this context that the Department of Social Work, in collaboration with Voluntary Health Association, are organizing this World Tuberculosis Day.
The entrance examination for various postgraduate courses ended on Thursday. Around 36,000 aspirants competed for 3,000 seats. The entrance examination was conducted in 3 sessions. The university has already declared results of various postgraduate courses, and the remaining will be completed within a couple of days. Students are requested to log on to Kashmir University websites wherein they could check results of various courses. The websites are www.kashmiruniversity.net and www.kashmiruniversity.ac.in. With that, we come to the end of today's program. Drop by our webpage emmrckashmir.com to check out all the latest. Send us your valuable suggestions and feedback at quest@emmrckashmir.com. While I say goodbye, here is this week's thought. The smart way to keep people passive and obedient is to strictly limit the spectrum of acceptable opinion, but allow very lively debate within that spectrum.